Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, in our previous video we have explained to you how from our Islamic perspective we have this integrated four levels or four domains or four realms of existence, that is our SEMP, our spiritual, emotional, mental and physical domain that we live, or from the Islamic terminology, our roh, our qalb, our akal and our jasad. And they are consisting of our nafs as we exist on this earth. That means as long we are living on this earth, we have these four realms that is interacting integratively to affect our well-being or to affect our depression or anxiety or other mental and psychological problems that we face on this earth. So how can we heal depression? What is the Islamic approach? I'm giving you some ideas. Definitely there are many more work needs to be done, but I'm just giving you a list of some approach in which we can use this SEMP approach in terms of healing depression. Because this is a major problem. Depression is a major problem among young people today. So it is estimated in 10-20 years time, more than 60% of the young people who are growing up now, who's just scanning through Facebook or online, and they have no personal interaction or social interaction, these people are going to face depression in their lifetime. And a lot of these people will go into very severe ideation of suicide and so on. This already is affecting the non-Muslim world, and it will affect the Muslim world in a few years' time. So how are we going to tackle this problem? So I'm going to give you some idea of the Islamic approach. So how are we going to healing depression Islamic approach? This is some of the ideas, and I hope some of you will pick this up and do more research, because the most prevalent problems of psychology today is depression. It is like a common cold. Everybody seems to be depressed, especially the teenagers. When they go through the hormonal change, they have all kind of problem. I love you, you don't love me, then they just jump off the cliff. And this is nonsense, okay? But this is the reality. We say it, and then it is like a unreal thing. But people are literally doing that because of the inability to integrate themselves at the highest level. So if we say that we want to heal depression, we have the SEMP. So it is radiating both inward and outward. That means from the P to the M to the E to the S, or inward. So we have both the integration and the integration inward. Alright, so the inward integration will be from the spiritual level to our emotional level, to our mental level, to our soul, because our basis is a roh. So this is our roh. Our roh. This is our qalb. This is our akal. And this is our jasad. And all these things, this whole thing is our nafs. As we exist in this world, we have the S, E, M, and P interaction. So everything that we have in this world, this is our nafs, our SEMP. So if we are going to heal depression, we have to look at various levels. That means we have to look at the spiritual level, emotional level, mental level, and physical level. Or the other way around. In modern psychology, they're looking at the physical, mental, and emotional. That's why we have the bio-psycho social model. So they have the P, M, and E, but they do not have the S. So how are we going to tackle depression, and what level are we going to integrate? Let's say we start with the spiritual, then the emotional, mental, and physical. As I said, there's no two way about it. It can be either SEMP or PMES. You go upward or downward, because this is the integrative approach. So for example, if we talk about the spiritual, okay, for the spiritual, at this level, we know as Muslims, first and foremost is connecting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if we are depressed, the best solution is for us to go back to Allah. How? By doing our prayers. So the 5 daily prayers would be the cornerstone of our ibadah. And because each time we say our prayer, we are putting aside the depression from our mind and focusing our spiritual self, emotional, mental and physical self towards that ubudiyah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for that momentary moment, our depression is lessened. And when our depression is lessened, naturally it will affect our neurotransmitters and so on. So prayer is the best. Alright? So we have all this arkanul Islam in terms of our prayer and our worship and our fasting and our zakat and all that, which we try to integrate into our life. Alright? So that is the Islamic first solution to solving depression. Alright? But supposedly this person never prayed in his life, and his name is Abdul Rahman or Aisha or whatever it is, never prayed, never knew what is prayer. But he says, I'm a Muslim. Brother, I'm a Muslim, but I was not brought up in a proper manner. So he is searching. So for him and for us also, we can start with zikrullah, the remembrance of Allah. Simple remembrance of Allah, that means the zikrullah that will bring him back to the fold of Islam is what? The father of all zikr. La ilaha illallah. So you teach him La ilaha illallah. What does it mean? There is no God except Allah. There is no helper except Allah. There is no protector except Allah. So you teach him the zikr La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. So tell him, okay, implement that in your life. Whenever your mental chatter, whenever the automatic thoughts about doing something evil, of about the suicide ideation or harming yourself, or whenever you feel depressed, just say quietly, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, and so on. So there are many areas of zikr. Later on, I'm going to teach you the zikr using Asmaul Husna, which is very, very effective. For example, if you are in trouble, all right, so you turn to Allah, so you can teach that person simple zikr like Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam. So there are three words: Ya Allah, my Lord; Ya Shafi, the healer; Ya Salam, that give peace. So teach him these three zikr, these three simple Asmaul Husna: Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam; Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam, quietly in his heart as he's breathing. Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam; Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam, and so on. Alright? And there are many sunnah of the approach of overcoming problems in terms of recitation of the Quran, of this very specific ayah, and so on, which you can teach him. But as I say, I'm taking the simplest approach. The simplest approach is the zikr of La ilaha illallah and this Asmaul Husna of using Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam. So as you breathe in, Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam. And all the other approach that we can go very deep into the spiritual approach. So when we finish this approach, spiritual, we go to the qalb. Okay, what does we look into the heart? All right, the qalb is dominant as we live in this earth. So we have, for example, our heart yearns for connection with Allah, and our heart yearns connection for people around us. So at the qalb level, the emotional level, we must have bonding. All right, every one of us must have bonding. So people who are depressed, they are loners. They have nowhere to turn to. So it is very important for Islamic organizations that we have some sort of like the befriender. We have this befriender where you befriend them. You bring them and give them some sort of emotional support. This is very important because nowadays more young people, they are only communicating through Facebook, through Snapchat and so on. So they are losing contact. And experiment and research has been done on neuroscience which shows that actually those kind of communication does not bring the serotonin into your akal. That means there is, when you do online, there is not, you don't have that connection, you don't have that feelings of oneness, yet the feeling of support. Especially nowadays, even family structure are slowly being broken down. So you don't have the support of your parents. In the past, we have the support of not only our parents, our grandparents. So we can sit on the lap of our grandparents, cry on his lap and ask for his help or her help, grandmother. So they are the source of wisdom. We have that whole support, societal support. But because of the nuclear family nowadays, it is all being dismantled. And because of that, we have a lot of problems insofar as young people do not know who to turn to. And if they turn to their peers are also equally depressed. So you get a double whammy. So not only that you are stressed out, you are going back to friends who are also stressed out. So you have this negative what? Automatic thoughts that grow and grow and grow. And that becomes the kind of problem that we face in the modern world today. So there are many issues on that. Also the lifestyle, change in lifestyle. That means from simple society now becoming very complex, because using science, technology, using all the platforms, online platforms, you are actually changing the human interaction, the nature of human interaction. If there is less and less human interaction, then more and more this whole epidemic of depression is going to be a global phenomena. This is already proven, and there's a lot of issues now in Japan, in Korea, where people die because of excessive online video game, for example. They are depressed, they play video game for days until they die. They have to go for counseling. All right. So when they are depressed, they go back to their video games or whatever it is, and it makes the problem even worse. Okay. So this, at akal level, there are many things that we can do. For example, like at the akal and the physical area, we are connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have serotonin. All right. That means the physical akal, the physical body of our brain. Our brain is linked to our akal. So this is our brain. This is the physical brain that we have in our head. The akal is the spiritual aspect of the brain. All right. In Islam, we have the two elements. Just like the heart, you have the physical qalb, the heart, that is your heart, which Rasulullah says is an organ in your chest, as well as the spiritual heart, the qalb. The same thing. The loci of your akal is the brain, and it produces all kind of neurotransmitters. So if, for example, if you are depressed, there are many ways of overcoming, both using your integration of the P and M. For example, say, we have, there's a lot of experiment now, they do, for example, physical activities. If you do physical activities, it affects your brain. It affects the production of dopamine and serotonin. And it is more effective than even, for example, Zoloft, the neurotransmitter, SSRI, that is being used to treat people with depression. Imagine we are pumping billions and billions of dollars of drugs into the market, whereas the simplest solution is what? Go and walk. Have a walk. They do experiment, they say 3 times a week you walk 30 minutes, and during your walk you go to some place that is very natural as much as you can. You increase your dopamine and serotonin production in your brain, and you are not depressed. What if you walk every day? You have this physical activity where you do your walking 30 minutes to 50 minutes a day. Each time you walk, you try to walk in a place which is calming. For example, I like to walk by the stream. I like to walk by the trees. You know, we have some pathways along the jungle track. I like to walk over hills or mountains, and I try to do that as a practice, 45 minutes a day. And as I do that, I can reflect about my life. I can see the beautiful situation. I can see some migratory birds coming over, and you can see and reflect. When you are doing that, that means your clutter, your mental clutter, your automatic thoughts on depression will decrease. And when that decreases, your dopamine and your serotonin production will go up. So you are using your brain, you are using neuroscience to change the situation. And there are many little tricks that you can do. For example, you can use kinesiology. How to use kinesiology? This is a science of kinesiology where you activate your VAK, visual auditory kinesthetic. Remember, VAK. V is visual, A is auditory, K is kinesthetic. So you have this within you, the stimuli within visual, auditory, kinesthetic. So if, for example, you are going for a walk, you try to see something pleasant. For example, you are sitting by the lakeside, you see the ducks swimming. You can smile seeing the ducks playfully swimming. So that is a visual. Auditory, you can do the zikir. As you go there, you breathe, you say, what do you say? Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam. Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam. All right, you can say your zikir. Kinesthetic, there are many tricks where you can use. For example, like one of the methods of actually giving your left and right brain integration is using a very simple technique where you stimulate your right hand, stimulate over your left earlobe, and you twist it. As you watch along, you see, you just twist it. You say, this is funny. No, it's not funny. Because you have both the left and right brain hemisphere. So when you using your right hand, it affects your left brain. When you use your right hand to stimulate your left earlobe, this is where all your acupuncture point is. All right. So this is where this ancient technique, where you can just cross your hand, do it, and then you look around. All right. You can even do that. You take a book. All right. As you are reading the book, you can do that. Or you are watching some good TV program. Please, no drama, no nonsense. But you say you're looking at, say, National Geographic. As you're looking, you sit down in a chair, just do it for 5-10 minutes. So this is the science of kinesiology, which is very, very simple. What other things you can do to help you overcome your depression? Apart from your exercise, you also need sunshine. You need vitamin D. So what do? You need 10 to 20 minutes of vitamin D. So you must be in the sun. So don't worry, you don't get sunburn for 10-20 minutes. So you go, at least your hand, all right, and your face can receive the sunshine. You don't need to be like half naked on a chair. No, you just walk, and in the natural way you get your sunshine, and the sunshine actually gives you a better input in terms of your vitamin D, and also will balance your circadian cycle. You have your sleep cycle. So if you go and have a walk in the afternoon or in the morning, it will change your circadian cycle, and then it will also give you your neurotransmitter, or that's being used, the melatonin. So with melatonin production, you will increase your ability to sleep, because people who are depressed, they cannot sleep. Why they cannot sleep? Because they are taking stimulants. So you avoid stimulants. For example, avoid coffee. Take calming tea like chamomile tea, ginger tea. All right. So there are many interventions you can do at the herbal level. All right. And then you avoid stimulant, and then you have some exposure to the sunlight, and then you have some walk, and it is more effective than all the so-called pharmaceutical drugs that you see on the market. So when you are doing this, you can also improve your diet. So your diet, for example, now we have people with depression, and they did a study that people who supplement their diet with omega-3, they have omega-3, essential fatty acid, omega-3, can actually, with 1,000 to 5,000 milligram a day, that means about 5 capsules, 1,000 milligram is 1 capsule, you can up to 5 or 10, actually their depression is much lessened, because the omega-3 will overcome the unnatural fats that we are taking. Today, because of the junk food, the fast food, now we have the junk food and fast food, we have what? We have all the trans fat, all those margarine, trans fat, hydrogenated, which actually affects your brain and make you, and cause your hippocampus to be, in your brain you have your hippocampus become inflamed because of what? Trans fat. Trans fat. And you also have excessive frying things. Everything is chicken, fried this, fried that. What do they have that? That is, you have omega-6 and 9. Omega-6 and 9, but no omega-3. Omega-3 is these essential fatty acids. So right now the imbalance because of the junk food, all right, plus you have another thing, sugar. This cause inflammation of your brain. Inflammation. This inflammation is the one that is causing depression. All right, because they did study where they do the scan, after all this junk food, they find that the hippocampus of young people getting smaller and smaller and smaller. When they switch from junk food to wholesome food, all right, and then they supplement themselves with 5 to 10 capsules of omega-3, and then they reduce the trans fat and all those fry thing that they're taking, they have no depression. So you see, it is not difficult actually to overcome depression. From the Islamic perspective, we start with the spiritual, then we do the bonding and social activities, getting together, having fun, right? Having family outings, having friends outings, go swimming, go fishing, go even play football, play futsal. All those things are good. You'll forget about young people. Go play a lot of futsal as much as you like. Alright? Then, at the mental level, you also work on your activities to remove your automatic thoughts. And those are the techniques I show you. You link back to the spiritual, where instead of thinking about the past and the problems that you face is the dunya, you think about the benevolence, the mercy, the love, the grace of Allah, which I thought I told you in the previous video. Because Allah is most loving, most caring, most merciful. So if you rely on Him and you turn yourself away from all this negative thinking, and then you do the zikr and speak to Allah all the time. As you zikr, Ya Allah, Ya Shafi, Ya Salam, and after a while say, Ya Allah, I'm facing this problem, help me become joyful, help me overcome this. You speak, because Allah is near, He's nearer to us than our jugular vein. So you have a constant friend. Allahu waliyul ladina amanu yukhrijuhum minaz zulumati ilan nur. Allah is the protecting friend. He brings you from darkness unto light. So we need the light, because when we are in depression, we are in darkness. So we bring ourselves to light by communicating with Him, by having a healthy lifestyle, by understanding all these ideas that I'm telling you. And there are many, many more ideas, inshallah, that healing depression, the Islamic approach, is something that inshallah can be implemented. And if more studies are done by our psychologists, Muslim psychologists, and our nutritionists, and understanding the science of neuroscience and its integration at the spiritual, emotional, mental and physical level, inshallah we have a beautiful model that we can serve the ummah and serve humanity in the 21st century, inshallah.